Hi guys, Flattmeister here. You ready for your daily dose of cancer to get down with the sickness? Oh, oh fuck. So I found this article on Mike.com. It was about the untold origins of Gamergate and the gaming legends that apparently spawned this gaming culture and culture of abuse online. Yeah, it's totally going to be, completely neutral and not biased at all. So it goes on to say that Jade Raymond, she used to work at Ubisoft. She was the lead designer on Assassin's Creed when that came out in 2007. And so this article's trying to make her out as though she's this first casualty of the Gamergate war. So this comic was released. You read that comic and you can see it's commenting on the rabid fan base that swamped Assassin's Creed when it came out. Oh, it's fucking great, and the comic is comic reminds me of there was a program in the late 80s. Basically, if you're in the public eye, you are subject to, it is part and parcel with being in the public eye. You can then be mocked, parodied, satirized. So someone made this comic about Jade Raymond, and as I was saying, it reminded me of this program in the late 80s, early 90s, or even like the tabloid satire comic panels. There was this program called Spitting Image. There were these puppets of British politicians. They were complete caricatures, and and some of that stuff was quite. I mean, God, I was a kid back then, but some of the content in that program was, it got really personal. Because these politicians are in the public eye, this program satirized and took the piss out of these politicians. Rightfully so. Comedy and things like that. If you're in the public eye, people can make silly games of you or comics. It's just part and parcel of being in the public eye. Hell, I'm in the public eye now, kind of. I know I've only got 5 subs at the moment, 5 subscribers. Someone in the future could eventually meme me. It's part and parcel. So the article goes on about they spoke to, there was an MTV interview with Brenda Romero, and apparently after she heard about this comic book, this comic panel, she then became apparently clearly shaken, and she was like, oh. She then starts to recall the little microaggressions, the little smaller instances of the gamers' culture of mistreatment of women. The article, of course, resorts to the old stereotype that, oh, well, I like to think that it's not just 14-year-old misanthropes. I'm like, gaming is of all different age ranges, it's a very diverse industry. And the consumers are very diverse. most games now are actually aimed at mature audiences. A lot of these 14-year-olds can't really play a lot of these mature games. And of course, the article, as I was saying, oh, it's not neutral or biased. Of course, it's biased. So it says about calling Gamergate a coordinated harassment campaign disguised as a crusade for ethics in game journalism. Well, not just journalism now. It's gone into all forms of journalism, and we've seen recently with people like news organisations like CNN and what they've resorted to, attacking people, private citizens. Yeah, tell me again why we don't need ethics in journalism. Women have always been made to feel welcome in the industry. This concept and idea that women aren't allowed in the boys' club. It's the boys' club, stay out. No. Women have always been in games, in the development process, as well as the gaming side, as gamers, as consumers. What annoys me about Mike.com trying to characterise this as a gendered issue, that it's an attack on women. I mean, I read recently someone wrote on Tumblr, of all places, someone wrote a fan fiction with Anita Sarkeesian. This is the bit that irritates me. Anita Sarkeesian on her Feminist Frequency tweeted a link and also endorsed this fan fiction. The fan fiction involved Anita Sarkeesian goes to Gearbox Studios and kills Randy Pitchford, the CEO, because he made Duke Nukem, and to prevent him from making any future Duke Nukem games. And Anita Sarkeesian is going, ooh, this is oddly surreal, but it's kind of cool, yay. Turn this around then. What if it was Jade Raymond? They're so fucking hypocritical. They can't stick. She can't stick to her script. There's no consistency. They go, oh, if it happens to a woman, then that's bad. I mean, it has happened. There's been fan fiction stories of female game developers, but of course they turn that into a bad thing. But it's just kind of funny, the hypocrisy of Feminist Frequency, trying to be this tolerant progressive company, trying to fight against harassment of women, and yet you're endorsing a fiction, a fan fiction of you killing a game developer. Right? Your consistency's a bit off there. So anyway, so yeah, this website, Old Man Murray, I think I've heard of it years ago, but it ran from 1997 to about 2002, and its writers and founders actually worked on a lot of games. It was Eric Walpole, who was a writer for Psychonauts and Portal 1 and 2, and then it was Chet Falasek, and he was a writer on Left 4 Dead, as well as Portal 1 and 2. The article goes on about attacking Eric Walpole for a comment he made, and it's a pretty funny comeback to a reader that wrote in. So the article doesn't like his brand of, and it goes, brand of comedy. you know, saying it was a horrendous behaviour thinly veiled as irony. I'm like, what about all of these stand-up comedians that really push the boundaries? You know, they say some really edgy stuff, like Jim Norton, who I've recently found. You know, once these social media platforms came about, you know, and these forums, people were able to be their sort of their own DIY stand-up comics, you know, just on their PC. This article can't help but mischaracterize and just strawman. It can't help but resort to the old fever swamps of 4chan and the alt-right. Everyone's alt-right. Everyone's a Gamergater. Everyone's a Nazi. Punch a Nazi. Comedy is subjective, you know. What some people might find offensive, other people find funny. You know, some people have dark senses of humour. You can't shame people for having a dark sense of humour. Again, the article doesn't like nihilistic comedy. Oh, they make a complaint about disability jokes. Then, hell, I'm fucking disabled. You know, I suffer from chronic back pain, and I can hardly stand up for a couple of minutes. To walk around with a crutch or in a wheelchair to get about. And I don't mind, you know, people make disability jokes. I'm disabled, I'm a cripple. But it's a slippery slope with comedy. If you can't make a joke about one thing, then they'll find new things to ban, or things that you can't joke about. It's a slippery slope, and it'll eventually, you know, you can't make a joke about anything. So this bit makes me laugh. The article then goes into just the stereotypes again. Popular YouTube bigotry artists like JonTron. Oh god. And frog avatar trolls. Apparently JonTron's a Nazi white supremacist, spewing his bigotry and hate online. Oh, bigotry. Oh, my bigotry. Oh. It's just I don't want to get off topic, but you know, JonTron is not a racist or a bigot. You know, he can't debate well in online debates. You know, he goes a little bit off track. I think the goal has always been offence. Those offended too sensitive, and any attempt to improve the discourse is censorship. Now, you're not trying to improve you do try and censor people. You want to police police the social media. You know, police what people say and think. You know, you're the people that use block bots and don't want any civil discussion or debate with anyone, or anyone that comes up with a reasonable criticism, and you pull the mic away from them. Take for instance what happened at VidCon in the Q&A section. You don't want your ideas criticised or scrutinised. The article, you know, is denigrates gamers, the whole that it's a vitriolic, toxic environment. You know, gamers like to rib each other. It goes back to, like, even before multiplayer existed, when you would play couch co-op with your friend, if you play GoldenEye 60 on the N64. He'd be looking over, looking over at your friend's screen, trying to cheat, find where he was on the map. And you'd rib each other. You'd say insults to each other just in jest, and that's what made game night at your friends such an awesome experience. And I'm sure many of you have sort of childhood memories of going around your friends, or your friends coming round, you'll crowd round the TV, plug your console in. That's what made the childhood great. That's what made those memories memorable. So the author reached out to Falasek and Walpole, and they asked him a couple of questions. There's a follow-up question, with regards to the site cutting its path for Gamergate, and whether he had come to regret its influence. He offered no reply. I wonder why. I wonder why he didn't respond. Because he knows that you're going to write fucking hit pieces. If he comes out in support of Gamergate, I don't know if Falasek and Walpole do support Gamergate. If they come out in support of it, you write all of these fucking hit pieces. Look at how you treated Lucky Palmer, because you found out that he was in support. Him and his girlfriend were in support of Gamergate. You write these hit pieces, and you incite harassment against these people. It's not just men. If it's any women or someone in a minority group within LGBT or any other non-white races, and they express an opinion that doesn't line up with yours, you fucking attack and shame them. You write hit pieces about them, and you incite your fucking followers to attack these people. You're the fucking bullies. So is there any wonder that he's not going to fucking respond to that article where you're going to then have the opportunity to write fucking hit pieces? Give me a fucking break. Oh, the cancer is building. Oh, the old Doritos and Dew misogynists. Such a familiar sight for us, the article says. Do these journalists ever step outside of their fucking office in their little echo chamber? Where they're all gathered around the fucking water cooler. So have you found the latest on misogyny? So the article starts to close up and says the full details of this old era and the reasons why it came about will have to be saved for the follow-up story in this series. Yep, he's going to start writing some hit pieces about Walpole and Falasek. So I think moving forward with regards to Gamergate, when they say we want ethics in journalism, these journalists aren't going to fucking change their ways. These sites are not going to change their ways one bit, not one iota. They're not going to change. They've changed little bits, like, oh yes, we disclose in this article, just disclosing personal friendships or relationships with people. You see that on Kotaku. But they're not going to change their ways. They're still going to write bullshit articles, misrepresent and mischaracterizing people. They're not going to change their ways. So Gamergate needs to strive for its own ethics. That's why there's more YouTubers starting up their channels. Actual gamers, consumers, people that buy their games, buy games. These YouTubers need to, and bloggers, independent news sites need to hold themselves up to the standards that Gamergate is striving for. that's the way moving forwards, I think, is a more productive way, rather than ethics, rather than just keep saying it. It's not going to sink in with the mainstream media and the games press. It's not going to sink in at all. They can keep writing their hit pieces, and we can stop visiting their sites. Stop giving them clickbait. That's why a portion of Gamergate, there's some dedicated people out there that are archiving these articles. There's a guy, Xenomorph Archiver, on Twitter, who I follow. Really good guy. He puts a lot of hard work in seeking out these articles, pointing out these conflicts of interest. Just general bullshit articles and hit pieces. People like him, exist to archive and point this out, and still, keeping these mainstream game sites under scrutiny. But yeah, that's my 2 cents. Follow Xenomorph Archiver. Read these read the archived articles. Visit your favourite YouTubers and entertainers. Read your favourite bloggers and independent gaming journalists. Support them, and to those people, these YouTubers, strive for those ethics. Be transparent. Try and be neutral. It's hard to not be biased in this day and age. Alright, that's enough. My name's Flattmeister. Don't forget to do all that like and subscribe stuff. You guys know what to do. Come join the Flat Pack. I'll see you in the next video.
That's it from me.